Okay, this is gonna be a follow-up. If you go back later in my channel, you'll see I was working on a Homelite XL12. Bought it back in the summer of 2015. Bought it for $5. All the way complete. The only thing that it was missing was the clutch cover and kill switch. Everything else was there. This thing was filthy. If you all remember from the first video, all of this in the starter housing, there was about probably a quarter-inch of chips there, just completely filthed up. I went and cleaned all this. This is a Homelite XL automatic. If you can see in there, there's a serial number 207 8334. That's all the stuff on it. Cleaned this all up and hadn't messed with it. Put it back in a box and put it away. Finally, been reading up on them, and I noticed when I tested this, it had really weak spark. It had spark, but it was really weak. And these older Homelites, the XL12, XL automatic, the red ones, the blue ones, they're referred to as the old red or old blue and big red. All of these, they all had points and condensers in them, or not points, yeah, points and condensers in them. And those would go bad over time, and you'd have to repair them. Well, the newest ones, right when Homelite quit making these, the newest ones did have electronic ignition. All the old ones, and they made thousands of these of the XL. We'll just call it the XL12s. They made thousands of them, and you can pick them up. I mean, like I said, I picked this up for $5. Even if I spend another 50, and I have an $80 power saw here. I mean, the cylinder and piston in this thing's, I mean, still got machining marks. A lot of them you can pick them up for nothing, and they have really low hours in them. Easy to work on, basic. You can still get parts for them, and not cheap aftermarket. You can get not OEM, but really good quality cylinders and pistons for them. There's a lot of them out there. Really good power saw, good firewood saw, farm saw, whatever. But so this one had points and condensers. I don't know when this was made. I don't know what year it would have been. This one had points and condensers. I had spark really weak, so what I learned from is from the chainsaw guy. Go check out his channel. Well, that's what if I have a saw question that I don't know, the first person I go to is him. Go on his YouTube channel. If he doesn't have it on there, I usually call him, order stuff from him too. He worked on a lot of these XL12s, and he'd have the points and condensers, and they'd have no spark, so he would put the module. And you can see I got the module on here. I didn't order this from him. I was going to, and I don't remember why I didn't. I got this off of eBay from a person. It was the exact same price from on eBay that it was from the Saw King. It's a little bit different module from what he had, but so it does the same thing. And what this module does is it bypasses the points and a condenser altogether. It completely eliminates it. It makes it a electronic ignition coil. So like all your new saws, like I'll name off like 372. If you look at the coil on it, your electronic ignition is going to be built into it, versus on these old saws, when you convert them from points to electronic ignition, you're just going to have the electronic ignition part outside. No big deal. You got all kinds of room in your cover back here to have them go in there. So all I had to do on this is we'll pop the flywheel off here so I can get it off. Okay, so there's our flywheel. So here's our points. Points are underneath this cover right here. And what you're going to have is on this one, there was this black wire right here was running originally over to where this red wire is. You can see this red wire. That's the condenser right there. Black wire ran underneath the coil, hooked into the coil, but it was running over here. There's a little nut right here that held both of these on there. Took that nut off, pull the black wire off, put the red one back on, tighten that up. Don't mess with this anymore. Make sure your bolts, you have to leave the points on here because it's the coil setup. It doesn't hurt anything. Make sure your bolts are tight. Next off, take the black wire, cut it right at the end. Cut the end off. Where's the original end? And here's the original end from it. Right there. Just cut it right off. In the kit, it will come with the module wire here. This wire that's on the module to this plug or twist cap had this on the end of it. It's just a little plug-in one. Cut it off. It does come also with just a plain old set of wire, so you can, if you wanted to, you could cut this plug off and wire into your length or whatever. Cut that off. Strip both your wires off. Screw that on there. This is going to get soldered later on. And what that does is it bypasses your points. So this is electronic ignition. So let me get my flywheel back on here. Find my key. Pull your plug out, your spark plug, hook it back into your coil, and what this will do is it'll make it'll up your RPMs a lot, and it makes you have way hotter spark than what the old points was. It makes it have way hotter spark. They'll run better. I'm gonna have to set y'all down for a second so I can line up my key. They will run, like I said, much better than what they were with the old points on them. Come on, flywheel. There we go. Okay, so our flywheel's on. Just sit on there, no nut on there, and our flywheel came off. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. So there's our flywheel. Take our plug wire, set it up, take our drill, put it on the clutch side. There's a nut on there. Spin it over. If you can see. Probably won't be able to see. I'll take a video once I get it all spliced and put the nut back on. But what this does, it makes it have way hotter spark. And we'll call this part one of it, and or not part one, but doing it. And then we'll come back with, once we get it all soldered in, put together, I'll come back and let you see what the finished result is on the spark plug here. So stay tuned.